News that's just coming in from the Israel and Hamas war. The top Hamas commander has been killed in Gaza Strip. Israeli Air Force has now killed Bilal al-Kedra, who was responsible for the raid that took place last week. The military headquarters of the Islamic Jihad terrorist has been destroyed. Top Hamas commander has been killed by the Israeli forces in Gaza Strip. Israeli air forces have killed Bilal al-Kedra. He was responsible for the raid that took place in Israel last weekend. The military headquarters of the Islamic Jihad terrorist has been destroyed. My colleague Gaurav Samant is now joining me live from Israel, Sderot in Israel. Gaurav, a very important piece of information now coming out. From what we believe, the headquarters has now been destroyed in Gaza Strip by the Air Force of Israel, and from what we understand, a top Hamas commander has also in fact been neutralized.
So we are on our way to southern Israel right now, and there have been intense, massive airstrikes and artillery strikes through the night. The aim was to neutralize the leadership of the Islamic Jihad terrorist organization, which is a part or operates in tandem with the Hamas terrorist organization. Their leadership is being taken out. Some of their weapon storage facilities have been taken out. And al-Kedra was the person who was whose house was used for storage and for naval attacks that had taken place, or marine attacks that had taken place on the Zikim beach and on two of the kibbutz in Israel. Kibbutz are those very small settlements. So Israel is systematically neutralizing the adversaries. The situation does remain precarious, and what we've been told, a ground offensive is imminent. Whether it happens in the next couple of hours or takes the next couple of days, Israel wants to retain that element of surprise. One of the biggest challenges, like we've been discussing, is Israel hasn't been able to completely neutralize Hamas capabilities of having anti-tank guided missiles and shoulder-fired surface-to-air missiles, which could pose a very major challenge to Israeli artillery, to Israeli armor and mechanized forces, and also to the attack helicopters that give air cover to the advancing mechanized forces. So the situation right now is very precarious. The Air Force and the artillery are pounding Hamas bases, especially those bases which are used as one, launch pads by rockets to launch rockets into Israel, and two, used by Hamas leadership either to store weapons or as their command centers.
Gaurav, you've been on the ground and it's almost been 9 days. We have seen extreme levels of bloodshed. What do you believe will happen in days to come since you are on the ground? What is the sense that you are getting?
Well, Israel is resolute. Israel will decimate Hamas. There are no two ways about it. And Israel has decided, irrespective of what the world says, the United States is standing with Israel. Britain, France, Germany, they are standing with Israel. Most democracies stand united that Hamas has to be decimated. Hamas should not remain in Gaza Strip to be able to mount any attack on Israel. But this is easier said than done. You may be resolute in your view, but how do you achieve this aim? When you send troops into ground and Hamas has access to anti-tank guided missiles and surface-to-air missiles, longer-range rockets, then Hamas will also intensify its attack. And Israel has been inside Gaza Strip twice before to decimate Hamas or to neutralize leadership. It hasn't been successful. The leadership is also spread out in different countries. Some may be in Lebanon, some may be in Iran, some may be in Qatar. Neutralizing all of them may take time. The numbers of fighters or terrorists of Hamas, some say it's 20,000, some say it's 40,000, some say the number is even higher than 40,000. So how do you neutralize 40,000 or more fighting force of a terrorist organization? So there are many issues that statement of intent has been made. How will it be put into effect on ground remains the biggest challenge, and this could well end up being a very long-drawn offensive. The the other aim plus, as far as Israeli forces are concerned, is to rescue as many hostages as they can. The number apparently now stands at 105. Families have been informed that their kin have been held hostage. So Israel will attempt to bring the hostages back, kill some of the top leadership, and then decide what needs to be done in future.
Thank you, Gaurav, my colleague who's been on the ground over the past 9 days, getting you all the updates on the war that's taking place between Israel